Well, that is the way to start. So, I'm Jennifer Casasanto, and I'm the Associate Dean here in the School of Engineering. Before we begin, I need to read this important safety announcement. In the event of an emergency, including a fire alarm, please proceed calmly to a nearby exit, leave the building, and move away from the doorway. Please note the location of the nearest exit. It may not be the one by which you entered. Sitting or standing in the aisles and the doorways is not permitted. Smoking is not allowed inside the building or under any tent outside. Please turn off or silence your cell phones. While pictures are permitted, we ask that parents refrain from standing in the aisles or coming to the front of the meeting house. We will have pictures available for free download on the School of Engineering Flickr site. There's a QR code in today's program where you will find the photos.
You may be seated. Welcome, everyone, to our distinguished guests, families, and friends, and the incredible class of 2026. Congratulations. My name is Tejal Desai, and I'm the Sorensen Family Dean of Engineering and a proud alumna of the class of 1994. And I'm absolutely thrilled and honored to be here today with you. I want to start out by recognizing the leadership and faculty here today who have worked tirelessly to support your journey. First off, let me first welcome our members of the Engineering Executive Committee seated in front of me. Would you please stand up and be recognized? You may be seated. I also want to recognize the extraordinary faculty who have guided, mentored, and inspired our students throughout their time at Brown, and they're sitting right here in front. Please stand up. It is also my distinct pleasure to introduce trustee Harry Holt Jr., class of 1984, who joins us today representing the corporation in the awarding of diplomas. So 4 years ago, we began this journey together. I stood before each and every one of you on the college green as a brand new dean 3 days into her tenure. I looked at the faces of an entering class unlike any before. You arrived not just with passion, but a hard-won optimism from the unique challenges of your time, ready to dive in and engineer a better future. On that convocation day in 2022, I urge you to be boundary breakers. I spoke of bridges that we must build and the essential human infrastructure that sustains us. Today, 4 years later, as we close that chapter, I see that you didn't just meet that challenge, you embodied it. You are the living proof that the strongest structures, be they physical or societal, are those designed for adaptability, resilience, and hope. Your excellence is not just academic, it is structural. You didn't just study engineering, you applied it to build the very bridges I spoke of. By embracing your engineering education as a catalyst for change, you use the open curriculum to tackle some of the world's toughest problems. The resulting breakthroughs are nothing short of profound. Some of you pioneered innovations that directly address human needs, from designing smart wound dressings, removing forever chemicals, or developing new battery materials that are sustainable and safe. Some of you collapsed the boundaries between fields, seamlessly merging technology and policy, robotics and art. From capturing the Brown Venture Prize to dominating the Quantum Hackathon, you proved that brilliant solutions can be scaled to the world. And as you depart, you are not simply leaving. You are extending the bridges that you built here to your next destination. But as you begin this next chapter, I ask you to remember that the most resilient, enduring structure that you will ever build is not made of steel or code. It's made of the human infrastructure and connections, often forged in the quietest of moments. connections built during those late night sessions in the Sci-Li, collaborative design sprints at the BDW, the shared intensity of the car team, and the simple and sustaining ritual of a matcha latte in the ERC cafe with our wonderful staff. It is the connections we made as we held each other close and were there for one another after December 13th. Connections cemented as we folded tape for our mural, planted flowers in the garden, and held each other close during the many days and weeks that followed. These connections, built in joy, hard work, and in grief, are the true foundation for your future success. The scale has tipped many times since 2022, but you have found your balance. You've shown that we are at our best when we apply the interdisciplinary mindset of a Brown University engineer to not only build innovative solutions, but to build community and dismantle boundaries. You are graduating into a world that's in flux, technologically, societally, but it's a world that's desperate for your vision and humanity. We see you, we celebrate you, and we are ready for you. Now, go out and build the world you've already started to imagine. And I ask you, as I did 4 years ago, what can be accomplished by breaking down boundaries and building new bridges? And what boundaries do you want to break next? Congratulations, class of 2026. Now, it is my great pleasure to introduce our two student speakers. Our first speaker is Amelia Pantagoso. One moment. Amelia is graduating with a degree in biomedical engineering and a certificate in entrepreneurship with a focus on creating innovative solutions for women's health. She is president of Brown's chapter of the Society of Women Engineers, where she's been an active board member since her freshman year. Amelia is also a student ambassador for the School of Engineering. For the past 3 years, she's been supporting our school's programs, organizing community events, and mentoring students. She's been a significant contributor to our recovery and tribute efforts during the past semester. Outside of engineering, Amelia has served the university community for 3 years as a member of the Brown's Emergency Medical Services, as an ambulance operator, emergency medical technician, and as a CPR and Stop the Bleed training instructor. Next month, Amelia will join Johnson & Johnson as part of their Global Operations Leadership Development Program. In her career, Amelia hopes to advance women's healthcare by creating better and more accessible medical solutions designed for women by women. Amelia, please.
Oh no. Hi everyone. I am naturally a big feeler, something many of my classmates know about me. So to start, these are for me. Words cannot properly express how utterly joyful I feel and grateful I am for this opportunity. This opportunity to address my dear classmates their families and friends, our alumni, and our guiding faculty, staff, and administrators. I'd also like to address my family and dedicate this speech to my grandmother, Teresa Ibanez Pantigoso, my tia, Ana King, and in memory of my grandfather, Edgardo Pantigoso. I would not be here without you, and I am deeply grateful to be part of your legacy. To them and the rest of my family, both Pantigoso and King, I love you more than you'll ever know. You have taught me what it means to be brave, loving, and kind. I thank you with all that I am. Today, I'd like to talk to you about our community. Our community has shared great joy. Our bonds began during certification workshops at the Brown Design Workshop, building bridges physically and emotionally in Engine 30, and spending afternoons that unnoticeably turned into evenings in office hours in the basement of Barris and Hawley. From there, we've continued year to year, losing to Professor Zenit in badminton, attending Dean Russell's annual Friendsgiving meal, and hugging our friends after E&M exams. The smiles and hellos we've exchanged have only become more meaningful. Allow me to walk you through a typical day at the School of Engineering. The morning starts softly with the warmest greeting from Sam, Rachel, DJ Lefty, Stuart, and the rest of the beloved SOE Cafe staff. That's right, As hours pass, the building quickly fills with activity. As folks catch up on the red couches and wooden stairs, they're passed by others running late to a lab, class, or meeting. All the while, the regulars, who can always be found in their go-to spots, work until they're happily interrupted by a yap session with a found friend. Soon enough, sunset light streams through the windows in Hazeltine Commons, and it becomes the evening. Parts made in-house are being joined together to build a competition-ready race car, while project planning for this year's Extreme Gingerbread House Building Competition is underway. The night ends as the last engineers leave, finally having debugged that one part of their code or crammed as much as they could before tomorrow's exam. For a typical day at the School of Engineering, what is ever present is a little bit of chaos, a little bit of stress, and a whole lot of joy. Joy, because day in and day out, we're doing it together, which made what took place last December with the tragic loss of two of our fellow Brown students all the more heartbreaking. To our BDW monitors and managers, our Brown Formula One captains and team members, our teaching and lab assistants, our native Rhode Islanders, thank you. Thank you for doing all that you could to ensure our safety and the safety of this community. Just as involved were our deans, faculty, staff, alumni, families, and friends, among so many others, where there was no shortage of what can I do and how can I support you, which has, I have never seen greater acts of selflessness and caring, which has since served as a significant source of hope and healing. We are a special community. Brown engineers roughly make up less than 10% of the university. Yet this statistic alone does not even begin to describe or reflect the strength and dedicated care this community has demonstrated. A distinctive quality that does not exist just because of the events of last semester, but existed even before our official commitment to engineering our sophomore year. It existed and are staying up into the early hours of the morning to help each other submit an assignment. It existed and are celebrating and dancing together each year at Engine Formal. And it existed at our convocation when Dean Desai welcomed us on what was her first day as well as ours. It's what brought us to Brown in the first place. It's what Brown saw in each of us, and it is what exists for years to come. I define a Brown engineer as twofold. One, an individual who dedicates themselves to identifying and ethically solving meaningful problems that will advance humanity. And two, an individual who seeks to explore various subjects that make them think differently and therefore be an even more impactful engineer. Visual arts, music, neuroscience, theater, language. Brown engineers lead with curiosity, collaboration, empathy, and are able to flourish because of the environment around them. May I just add that entrepreneurship courses fall under the engineering school. New ideas, solutions, and innovation come from Brown engineering. And we will take this distinctive approach forward into cutting-edge research labs, advancing industry, medicine, consulting, and countless other paths. We are the engineers who will create infinite possibilities. We are a community that together has shared great joy and great suffering. We are a community that cares about each other. We are a community that will leave a lasting, positive impact because of our distinct approach to engineering. This resilience, this care, this approach, this community is what we will carry with us as we go forward into the world beyond Brown. I was once asked by a fellow engineer why I'm always so happy in class. The honest answer is, and has always been, because I get to go to school with each one of you. I am so grateful to be part of this exceptional community. Congratulations to us, the class of 2026.
Thank you, Amelia. Our next speaker is Robayat Hussein. Robayat is graduating with a degree in computer engineering on the professional track, specializing in robotics, AI ethics, and space mission planning. His honors thesis explores multimodal human-robot interaction, designing an assistive technology framework with the long-term vision of making robotics more accessible for all individuals. He conducted research with Professor Nora Ayanian on multi-robot systems and with Professor Roberto Zanet on microgravity fluid dynamics. As a co-founder of Brown's AI Robotics Ethics Society and the Center for Tech Responsibility, Robayat has published and work on AI risk and responsibility. In the classroom, he served as a teaching assistant for coordinated mobile robotics, and beyond engineering, served as Secretary General of Brown's Model United Nations, as Vice President of the Lecture Board, and a founding member of the Bangladeshi Students Association. After graduating, he will be joining Google as a software engineer. Come on up.
Hi, everyone. How's everyone doing today? Yeah? Great. Sorry, this might be a little bit wet, so give me 1 second. Great. So I want to start off today by telling you all about a phrase that I read during my time here at Brown. So I want to tell you about the round pegs in square holes, the ones who see things differently, who press against the shape of the world until it gives a little. You can quote them, disagree with them, praise or condemn them, but you cannot ignore them because they move things forward simply by refusing to look away. And when I came to Brown, I found myself surrounded by exactly those people. And I hope that when you look around at the people beside you, you'll feel the weight of that truth before you leave this room. So before I say anything else, to all of the loved ones here today, thank you so much. You are the reason that all of our story exists. To my family, who I think are somewhere up here, who crossed oceans so I could stand in rooms like this one, thank you, and I love you. Everything I am begins with you. To the faculty who believed in us from day one, to my advisor, Dr. Pepe Zhu, whose voice was steady in every moment mine wasn't, to Drs. Nora, Ayanian, and Roberto Zenit, and PhDs Lee Chopin and Maddie Federley, who handed me opportunities that quietly changed the direction of my entire life. And to the entire School of Engineering, to our lovely deans, thank you so much for these last 4 years. And to this room, I want to acknowledge that this year, we carried something heavy together. We lost members of our community who deserved so much more time, whose kindness many of us had the privilege of receiving. I don't have the words that make that right, but the most honest thing I can do today is stand here in defiance of shrinking and tell you what I truly believe about the type of people in these seats. When it comes to me, I was born in a small village in Chittagong, Bangladesh. My parents entered a green card lottery for the chance at a better life, and at age 6, I ended up in New Orleans, a beautifully complicated city that taught me early lessons in what it means to see a world that is unequally distributed and decide that you have something to say about that. And it's also where, in a first grade classroom, I picked up a National Geographic magazine about the planets. And I was awestruck. The universe was so incomprehensibly large, so full of things we didn't know yet, that it somehow made me feel necessary, like someone with enough curiosity might actually solve that mystery. I carried that magazine home and drove my parents mildly insane about questions about black holes, and without fully understanding it, I had somehow become an engineer. In the years since, every door that opened did so, because someone took a chance on the curious ball of wonder that I was. And I think we all carried that feeling with us. Brown understood that feeling and provided us an open curriculum that is more a philosophy than a policy, the belief that the best thinking happens when you are not forced into a predetermined shape, that someone can be an artist and an engineer, that a Tuesday in a neuroscience seminar and a Wednesday debugging a flight controller can inform each other in ways neither discipline anticipated. Brown said, "We trust you to build yourself." Some of you built yourselves in the basement of the ERC in office hours that stretch from literally sunrise to sunset, some on the racetrack with formula racing, or in the midst of a satellite project with space engineering, or in the design workshop arguing about load-bearing tolerances with a passion that was probably disproportionate to the assignment. The point is, you all built something. You became engineers because something in you responded to the particular satisfaction of making a broken thing work. That specific joy of a design coming together, a 3D print succeeding, a line of code finally behaving the way you told it to 7 hours ago. If you know that feeling, and I know you all do, then you are an engineer. To be an engineer is to feel personally responsible for broken things, not because someone assigned them to you, but because you cannot look at a gap between what is and what could be without feeling it as an unresolved equation in your chest. The work we do is never only technical. Every system you build carries the values or the carelessness of the hands that make it. Every algorithm is a decision about who gets counted. You are not just building things, you are building the conditions of someone else's life. This generation of engineers is inheriting problems that are not small. The climate will not wait any longer. The communities excluded from every tech revolution of the last century are still waiting. And I say this with full conviction, neutral technology is complicit technology. The choice not to ask who is harmed is still a choice. We have the tools, the training, and frankly, the obligation to do better than that. But I also believe, and I have seen it in the way we showed up for each other in the hardest of times, that engineers can be just. We can be the people who remember that the most important problems are often the ones that belong to those who never had the chance to sit in rooms like this one. That is the kind of engineer that I hope we choose to be. And this past spring, we saw what that choice can look like at its most ambitious. Artemis II sent human beings beyond Earth orbit for the first time in 54 years. An entire generation of engineers lived their whole careers in that silence, building toward a moment they weren't sure they would see. And then on April 1st, 4 astronauts crossed that threshold one more time, and we were reminded that the impossible has a shelf life. There's a quote I keep on the lock screen of my phone, and if you'd like to check, I can show you later. And it asks, how big would you dream if you knew you couldn't fail? And I think about the engineers who built that rocket. I think about the 6-year-old in New Orleans who couldn't put down a magazine about planets. And I think about everything between those two things, the failures, the redirections, the late nights. And the answer to that question, I found at least, is the decision repeatedly made every morning to stay curious, to stay brave, and to keep pressing against the shape of the world. I started this speech talking about the round pegs, the ones who see things differently, the ones who refuse to look away. That was all of you, and today you are taking it with you, sharpened by 4 years of doing the hard thing in the company of the peers who are doing it alongside you. So take the curiosity that brought you here, take the stubbornness that kept you here, take the memory of this community, the people who sat with you at 4 a.m, the advisors who saw your potential before you did, all of the loved ones who made this day possible, and the ones we lost this year who deserved so much more time, and carry it into every corner of the world that needs what you have learned to do. And always remember to think to yourself, how big would you dream if you knew you couldn't fail? Dream that big. Press against the shape of the world until it gives, and do not stop until it does. So without further ado, here's to the round pegs and square holes, to my friends and family, to the newly graduated School of Engineering class of 2026. Congratulations.
Okay, it is now time to present the 2026 School of Engineering Awards. Woo. The Outstanding Senior Award has been established by the School of Engineering to be awarded annually in each concentration in which a senior has shown truly outstanding achievement. We will begin with the Outstanding Senior Award in Biomedical Engineering. This year's recipient is Kiana Barros. A member of the Tau Beta Pi Honor Society, Kiana completed an honors thesis entitled An Agent-Based Modeling Framework for Simulating Immunoengineering Strategies in the Intervertebral Disc Disease. Kiana completed research internships in both industry and academia at Celldex Therapeutics, Mass General Hospital, and Chimera Therapeutics. She also worked as an undergraduate researcher in the Raimondo Lab and was a member of the Society for Women Engineers. After graduation, she will be pursuing a PhD in biomedical engineering at Purdue. Congratulations. Our next award is the Outstanding Senior Award in Chemical Engineering. Said it before I could. This year's recipient is Tej Maheshwari. A member of the Tau Beta Pi Honor Society, Tage completed an honors thesis entitled Electrifying Fertilizer, DFT Analysis of Carbon-Nitrogen Coupling in an Electrocatalytic Urea Synthesis. After graduation, Tage will pursue a PhD at Yale. Our next award is the Outstanding Senior Award in Computer Engineering. This year's recipient is Abigail Bouchouet. A member of the Tau Beta Pi Honor Society, Abby completed an internship with VATN Systems, an underwater autonomous vehicle maker based in Rhode Island. After graduation, she will be continuing to work there as an electrical engineer. Congratulations. Our next award is the Outstanding Senior Award in Design Engineering. And this year's recipient is Oren Van Allen. Oren completed an honors thesis and has been a research assistant in the Pennell Lab, contributing to research in advancing water remediation technologies with a focus on removal of forever chemicals from contaminated water. He is a co-author on 3 publications and has presented his research at 2 symposia. For his capstone project, Oren worked with a startup to develop and scale a low-cost modular wheelchair ramp system manufactured from recycled plastics. He's been an active member of the National Society of Black Engineers and served as a student ambassador in the School of Engineering. And after graduation, you're moving to Baltimore to begin a career as an environmental engineer at Arcadis. Our next award is the Outstanding Senior Award in Electrical Engineering. This year's recipient is Gannon Leemaster. Gannon completed an honors thesis entitled Heterogeneous Hierarchical Accelerated Design for GEM on the Versal ACAP AIE ML architecture. I knew a few of those words. He worked with professors Dan Middleman and Kamani Tassant in the optical domain, co-authoring 1 publication and working on a second one. For his honors thesis, he switched gears and worked with assistant professor Pepe Zhao on cutting-edge FPGA architectures and is submitting a paper to a major computer engineering conference. He's also conducted research at the Cornell Nanoscale Facility and the National Institutes for Materials Science on the fabrication of millimeter wave interposers and wavelength selective thermal absorbers. In the fall, he will join the Electrical Engineering and Computer Sciences Department at MIT as a PhD student. Our next award is the Outstanding Senior Award in Engineering and Physics. This year's recipient is Yangmeng Zhang. Or Mo. A member of the Tau Beta Pi Honor Society, Mo is strong in both the classroom and the lab. She worked in Professor Jimmy Zhu's group in 3D quantum holography and has a special interest in optoelectronics, as well as a paper accepted at a major optoelectronics conference. 2 more papers that are accepted into Clio, and an outstanding record of innovative research. After graduation, she will be pursuing a PhD in electrical engineering at Stanford. Our next award is the Outstanding Senior Award in Environmental Engineering. And this year's recipient is Leela David. Leila conducted research with Professors Pinnell and Kulatz to increase the carbon content of biochar in order to treat PFAS in groundwater effectively and sustainably. For her capstone project, she designed a remediation strategy for a former waste oil recycling Superfund site in New Hampshire. Leila is co-president of the American Association of Environmental Engineers and Scientists chapter at Brown, a member of the Society of Women Engineers, where she also serves as a Women in Science and Engineer mentor. She has been a teaching assistant for Engine 1931P, Energy and the Environment. Outside of engineering, she serves as president of Brown's Chabad on campus, and just recently, she successfully passed the Fundamentals of Engineering examination and is officially an engineer in training. After graduation, she will work as a project engineer at DPR Construction in DC. Our next award is the Outstanding Senior Award in Materials Engineering. And this year's recipient is Torsten Pearson. A member of the Tau Beta Pi Honor Society, Torsten completed an honors thesis entitled PVDF-based composite electrolytes for lithium-ion batteries. Torsten conducted research with Professors Brian Sheldon, K.S. Kim, and Angus King on novel polymer electrolytes for safe and sustainable lithium-ion batteries. Completed multiple internships in industry, including at Kellogg's Corporation and Project K Energy, a startup developing potassium-ion batteries for fast-charging electric vehicles. He also served as a teaching assistant for Engine 72 or 720 Thermodynamics, and is recipient of the National Science Foundation Graduate Research Fellowship Program Award. Will pursue a PhD in material science and engineering at Princeton University. Our next award is the Outstanding Senior Award in Mechanical Engineering. This year's recipient is Arjun Bachikalupi. A member of the Tau Beta Pi Honor Society, Arjun did research in the Wilhelmus Lab and made significant contributions to the development of a novel, bio-inspired, metachronal underwater vehicle, combining exceptional CAD and iterative design skills with rigorous analysis and creative problem solving. Over the past year, he has led an independent project exploring novel designs and fabrication methods for integrating soft robotic elements into the current underwater robot. For his senior capstone project, he built a turbo pump for liquid rocket engines, and he's been an active member of the Brown Space Engineering for 4 years. Arjun also worked as a TA for 5 different classes over the past 3 years, and after graduation, plans to go to painting school in France. Our next award is the Domenico A. Ionata Award. This award was established by gifts of the family of Domenico A. Ionata, class of 1926, and provides for a premium to the senior concentrating in engineering who demonstrates an unusual degree of creativity and imagination in an independent study project. This year's recipient is Yameng Zhang. Already a recipient of the Outstanding Senior Award, Mo's research and accomplishments are extraordinary. But one thing I did not know is that her work has garnered international media attention, including 10 news articles and a detailed independent YouTube feature highlighting the significance of her work. Thank you. Congratulations, Mo. Next is the Joseph Keston Award of Excellence, which is awarded to the most outstanding undergraduate student in the field of thermodynamics. This year's recipient is Mina Bowdori. Mina worked in the lab, in the Van der Waal lab on a project to quantify the engineering savings enabled by coupling traditional heating and cooling systems with thermal mass systems that smooths out the daily temperature cycles. Her project involved detailed thermodynamic modeling of a typical house, and then she refined the model's parameters through the collection of extensive literature data regarding insulation, heating sources, material heat capacities, and energy storage. In addition, Mina also completed an honors thesis entitled Revealing Arctic Sea Ice Dynamics Under Cyclones via Simulation. After graduation, she will be working at the Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company in Phoenix, TSMC. Congratulations. I would now like to invite Madeline Goldsmith, president of the Tau Beta Pi, to present a special award on behalf of her class.
Hi everyone, my name is Madeline Goldsmith and I currently serve as this year's president of the Tau Beta Pi Engineering Honors Society. Each year we recognize a professor who stands out for their teaching ability and dedication, one who truly embodies Brown's commitment to undergraduate education. The recipient of this award was voted on by the Tau Beta Pi classes of 2026 and 2027 from a pool of outstanding professors across all of the engineering disciplines. Having personally been taught by this year's recipient, I can vouch for this professor's dedication and care to teaching the engineering student body, and I believe these classes made a great selection. It is my honor and privilege to present this year's Excellence in Engineering Teaching Award to Professor Alexander Zaslavsky. Unfortunately, I have been told that he is away on research travel, so he will not be here today, but he will receive his award once he returns. Thank you.
I believe he's on a well-deserved sabbatical. All right. So before we award the diplomas, I would just like to once again thank the parents and family members who have supported the class of 2026 throughout their time at Brown. Let's give one more big round of applause. As we turn to the awarding of diplomas, you will notice that many of our students are receiving recognition for outstanding academic achievement. Students listed as magna cum laude are recognized for their high grades. Students who have high grades and who have also completed a substantial independent design or research project are denoted with the designation of with honors. Now it's time for the awarding of the degrees to the Brown University Engineering Class of 2026. Director of Undergraduate Studies, Indrek Kulats, will present the degrees in alphabetical order by degree as written in the program. For parents and friends who would like to take pictures, they're permitted to do so, but we ask that you do not block the aisles or come to the front of the church. Pictures of, as we mentioned, will be available for free download and on the Engineering Flickr site later this week.
Thank you, Dean Desai. I'm the Director of Undergraduate Studies. It is my great honor and privilege to announce the degree recipients of the engineering class of 2026. It's by far the largest class I've ever seen. Congratulations. Here how it works is that I call the program name, the student name, and the awards. What student has earned, and all that point you are highly encouraged, all of you, in fact medically advised, to put those vocal cords to your good use and cheer as loudly as possible to your loved ones. With no more further ado, we're going to move on to Bachelor of Arts of Engineering, and the first recipient is Alfredo Benjamin Cordova Herrera. We're also honoring people who are not here. Karit Munn. Nayani Modugula, magna cum laude. And Anderson Bradford Todd. Next, we're going to honor the Bachelor of Arts of Engineering students who will complete the requirements soon. The first one to receive the diploma is Margaret Champagnol. Rin Legros. Joseph Olangodaya. Now we will move to awarding the joint degree, Bachelor of Science in Computer Engineering and Master of Science in Computer Science. Hold on. I have to say, Olivia Teishi Jung Heng. We're moving now to the Bachelor of Science in Biomedical Engineering. The first recipient is Mia Alexandra Anderson. Olivia Marie Baptiste. Kiana Marie Paras, magna cum laude, honors. Madison Broughton. Shirley Comian. Honors. Sophia Grace Ash. Christopher Andrew Hammett. I know. Alexis Herr. Alejandra Hernandez Moyers. Honors. Milito Giorito. Honors. Alvin Nicholas Laundry. Honors. Charlotte Rose Levine, magna cum laude. Samuel Lorenzo Pisicki, honors. Never Susan Matthew. Maya Michael. Emilia Rosemary Pantigozo. Julia Colley Patterson, honors. Erica Tossing Sahin, honors. Roberto Andres Serrano Pomales, honors. Daria Andreevna Smuk, honors. Jared Isaac Sunken, magna cum laude, honors. Kylie Emiko Tanaka, honors, magna cum laude. Calvin Teku. Fan C. Wang, magna cum laude, honors. Linghan Janet Wang. Gertuna Yalo Monchili, magna cum laude, honors. Lily Chen Yu, magna cum laude. Shinal Chang, honors. Henry Tang, magna cum laude. Now we're going to move into the Bachelor of Science of Biomedical Engineering students who will complete a degree soon. First one, Rachel Sharon Bibio. Dalia Hakel. Mia Karina de los Reyes Michaelbost. Joshua David Smith. And Trinity Simon Williams. We are moving into the Bachelor of Science of Chemical Engineering, and the first recipient is Jamaica Britano Alino. Julia Figueiredo Kraus. Dash Maheshwari, magna cum laude, honors. Adam Lipa Vizi, honors. We're going to move into the Bachelor of Science of Computer Engineering. The first one, Abigail Trude Buxay, magna cum laude. Natalie Cavallo. Cheyenne Chaudry. Manuel Dalbo, magna cum laude, honors. Isabella Julia DiLeonardo. Samte Nam Wong. Thomas Corden, honors. Narek Hartunyan. Rabayat Mohammed Hussein, honors. Devon Kier Long, honors. Sean Andrew Kelly. David Lara. Joseph Isaac Chokbayuha Waso. Julia Randon. Kana Takizawa, magna cum laude, honors. Mehmet Hakan Topal. Derek Wee Trong. Wilson T. Vo. And right now we're moving into the Bachelor of Science of Design Engineering. The first recipient is Thomas Jennifer Barton. Sadie Anne Bachward. Taylor Sky Lorraine Conklin. Amelia Crossritter. Fuka Ikeda, honors. Gabriel Joshua Mena. Olivia Marie Napoleon. Now we're going to make a little break. We will honor the posthumous award to Liam O'Keefe. The degree is being accepted by his parents. Thank you. Noah Milty Purov. Okay. Luke Stephen Rossi, magna cum laude. Jonah Aaron Bering Sight. Gabriela Shiro. Jules Brown Silva. Shanika Shrikant Urs. Oren Van Allen, honors. Taryn Christopher Wise. Andrew Walkland. Now it's time to move to the Bachelor of Electrical Engineering. Michael Pucci. Kelton Eckert. Cedric Scott Allison. Veer Cookley. Philip Cole. Madeline Olivia Goldsmith, magna cum laude. Rolando Gonzalez. Parth Gupta. Brian Huang, magna cum laude. Jacob Howard Coleman, magna cum laude. Canon Dean Lemaster, honors. Christian Leonardo Moreno Ayuso. J. Jesus O'Neill. Rohan Bankesh, honors. Santiago Jesus Romo. Stephanie Samaha. Thomas Christopher Scheidel, magna cum laude. Adrian Velasquez Martinez. Yash Voria. And now the Bachelor of Science of Electrical Engineering, who will complete the degree requirements soon. First, Jacob Charles Deviakis. Caitlin Victoria Foreman. Julia Roth Granado. Barsha Avrayan Lahmeri. Now we're moving into the Bachelor of Science of Engineering and Physics. The first one, Joseph Alvaro de Binjo, magna cum laude. Tomoya Sasao, honors. Sophia Dazi, honors. Dongwei Wang, honors. Yameng Zhang, honors. Now we're moving into the Bachelor of Science of Environmental Engineering, the first recipient, Makaila Utogwe. Laila Beth David, magna cum laude. Zachary Charles Farger. Maya Marquez Term. Jonathan Ross Peck. Trevor Charles Wilkins, magna cum laude. Bachelor of Science in Environmental Engineering, a student who will complete soon, Ian Elias Gonzalez Rodriguez. We're moving into the Bachelors of Science, Material Science and Engineering. The first student recipient is David Jacoba Adesina. Mina Sai Bahadori, magna cum laude. Alicia Morgan Chandler, magna cum laude. Leah J. Derange. Michelle Ong. And materials concludes with Dustin Pearson, honors. We're moving into the final group of students, Bachelor of Science of Mechanical Engineering. The first recipient, Evelyn Francesca Anderson. Arun Tadini Bachiru Kulopi. Style Kane Begno. Miles Tatsuni Bryson. Alice Harper Canoon. Charles Schaefer Case. Chloe Chen. Zachary Daniel Shinnery. Chloe Cho, honors. Diego Delgado. Eve Engel, honors. Jareen Felipe. Brady Garrison. Yesenia de Rosario Gomez. Myray Gay. Rehan Irani. Sayeda Anamika Kassar. Tristan Kaiser Parker. Joshua Winkler Krakauer. Aiden Joshua Mays. Maddie Carol Morgan. Daniel Rodney Aaron North, honors. Alexa Obradovich. Joseph Dean Quinton. Zachary Jordan Rossoff, magna cum laude. Isabella Segara. Emma Rose Slate. Katrina Hong Chuang. David Veloso. Ruth Vickiana. Jakub Sakarevich. Chandler Chu. And now the recipients of mechanical engineering degree who will complete the degree soon. First one to receive, Ines Pinto dos Santos. Adam Coleman. This ends my list. If there are any students not receiving degree, just come after me. But let's give a big round of applause again.
Congratulations, class of 2026. Woo! Before we conclude our program today, we just ask that the seniors exit the church first. Thank you, everyone, and I hope you have a joyous rest of the weekend.